and Studs! Petrol and Gearheads, this is Spruce and Studs, and welcome back to the garage. After what it seemed like to be an extremely long hiatus from my true love of building and commenting on LEGO cars, we are back here again with some more internal combustion engine goodness. Last week we featured the electric Porsche 99X, but may have not gotten a lot of gearheads tingling in the right places, but I am sure that the build that we are definitely will. Today we are going to be building and reviewing the Ford Shelby Mustang GT500, which is one of the more iconic American muscle cars of all time. This LEGO set was released on January 1st of 2022 and fetches $49.99 of your hard-earned dollars, which is a paltry sum compared to the cost of the real-life GT500, in which we will talk to in about a few seconds. The set has a total of 544 pieces, which is of a decent size of a medium piece count LEGO set. There are a total of 2 major steps in this build, and the bag comes with 2 bags that are numbered 1, and then 2 bags that are numbered 2, along with 2 really cool pullback Technic elements that serves as the engine or the power plant for this Technic set, even though the real GT500 has the engine at the front of the car. One thing that stays true to form is that both Technic rendition of the car as well as the real one is 100% rear-wheel drive. However, before we take a deep dive into talking about the real GT500 and reviewing the set, let's talk about the ways that you, the viewer, can help out the channel. Well, first, you are taking the first major step, which is viewing the content that is being presented to you. The other way is to subscribe to the channel, which you being an avid YouTube watcher should be familiar with doing. I fully encourage you to subscribe to this channel and become part of this ever-growing brick family. Take a look around the channel and obviously you will find build and review videos of LEGO products. However, if you just dig a little deeper, you will see that we also feature a bunch of stuff such as non-LEGO builds, Warhammer 40k miniature painting tutorials, where I will walk you through step by step how to bring a base-coated model to life onto the tabletop. Finally, we will feature something called Besides the Bricks, which yours truly will grow a body out from the 2 hands that you regularly see on the build videos, and I will talk to you with regards to anything under the sun, Legos, Warhammer, or whatever the heck comes to my mind. To my brick family, you guys are awesome! Thanks again for your continued viewership and the support of the channel. This humble little channel would not be here without you guys. Thank you for those of you who comment on the videos in the comments section. I really love talking to you guys as a content creator and would love to hear your opinions on things. After all, talking to each other is what family does, right? Well, in most instances, that's what family members who are cordial with each other does. But, you know what? We won't go too far down that rabbit hole there. Alright. Enough talk about backing the channel. Let's get down to talking about the nitty-gritty, which is the real-life GT500 in which this Technic set is based off of. For starters, the GT500 is an absolute bonkers car. Beneath the hood, or the bonnet, as our friends across the Atlantic Pond calls it, it is a demon ready to be unleashed onto the unwary souls of the world. What is this demon, you ask? Well, I'm glad that you did. If you didn't, then you're gonna find out anyway. So this demon comes in the form of an engine that is a supercharged V8 5.2 extremely environmentally friendly, wink wink liters, which veritably belches out a chassis torquing 760 horsepower. If that number is not enough to get your bits tingling, then the 625 foot-pounds of torque will then have your body become melded into the racing seats of the GT500 under full acceleration. Speaking of full acceleration, this fire-spewing demon will demolish a 0 to 60 in just under 3.3 seconds under ideal conditions. This beyond bonkers numbers that are being put down on paper is absolutely insane. Even Dominic Toretto would be impressed that this beast is almost a quote-unquote 10-second car in the quarter mile. The real time is 10.7 seconds, but I'm sure that all gearheads with some E86 or ECU mapping can get this unholy devil down below the coveted 10-second time. Just to add some more icing on this demon cake, I know a lot of gearheads like to row through the gears with a manual transmission. However, humans generally cannot keep up with the quick shifts that are needed to corral this demon engine. So it comes with a 7-speed dual clutch tranny, which should be able to deliver quicker shifts. This also goes without saying, but the GT500 comes with a sport-tuned suspension as well as a big brake kit to tame this animal down when you're trying to drive it on the commuter roads. So the million-dollar question is, what does it cost to get one of these hell-belching demons into your stable? Well, the cost starts around $73,000, but who would want to just stop at a bare-bones devil, right? You want the devil with the flaming eyes, a mouth that breathes fire and brimstones, one with horns and gigantic fangs, right? With all the fancy stuff tacked onto this car, you will come out $96,000 to $97,000 poorer, but you will have a demon engine in your stable. So enough education about the real car, and let's talk about the Technic model itself. As I described to you earlier, this set comes with a total of 4 bags, with 2 of them being numbered 1 and 2 of them being numbered 2. As this is also a Lego car, yup, you know it, the car comes with my favorite Lego piece of all time. In fact, there are 23 of these damn sticky pieces, or otherwise known as stickers. So as you saw earlier, Bag 1 starts off with building the star of the show, which in my opinion is the pullback mechanism of these new Technic cars. Then around the pullback mechanism is where the rest of the car sprouts out from. Once the mechanism is set and in place, you will start building the bottom of the front chassis and attach the front to the pullback feature. Moving on, you will then build up the rear part of the chassis and start gradually filling out the sides of the cars with the doors as well as the back bumper of the car. Moving on to step 2, which is 2 of bag 2s, you will start fleshing out the front of the car along with the hood. I will have to say that at this point, as more of something to point out, that I have not seen this many regular Lego pieces featured on a Technic car. Why do I say that? It is because the grille area on the hood of the car, the rear taillights, as well as the front headlights are all built using regular Lego pieces. At this point in time, building with regular Lego pieces is a welcome break from stuffing blue and black pegs into holes on Technic pieces. So speaking of the headlights, the technique that is used to build them is rather cool. I don't really know how to describe it, but I'll put it this way. Building the headlights was intricate and really caught my attention during the assembly of this model. You then assemble the front grille area and then start building the roof of the car. After that you are done with the roof, you progress onto the hood, then to the taillights, and finally to the wheels. And then, voila, the car is done. Total build time for me was around 1.5 to 2 hours, again, mainly due to stickering the damn car, but the overall build of the car was actually quite enjoyable. So closing thoughts on the car. I'll be honest with you, form-wise, I find it very hard-pressed to say the Technic model mimics the real look of the car. I will say that the Porsche Technic 996 matches the real 996 better than the Technic GT500 matching with the real GT500. As you can see in a comparison between the side views of the car, the Technic model does not achieve the same flow, especially if you're looking at the side profile. The real GT500 has a nice arch from back to front, while the Technic one looks less than elegant and quite clunky in my opinion. Another gripe is that with the rear spoiler of the Technic model. Below the rear spoiler of the Technic model, you can see the guts of the model, and obviously the real GT500. When you look below the spoiler, you see, well, the trunk of the car. Okay, alright, this is my last gripe, which I think is the biggest flaw in the car. So with this pullback mechanism, you can actually keep building potential energy by winding the car back, and then that potential energy is locked. So in order to release this energy to propel the model forward, you need to sort of insert a key in the back of the car. By doing that, you need to remove the rear middle bumper of the car and then step down on this key. I think this is a clunky mechanism and I do not like disassembling the car. Overall, this is a decent car model. There are some highlights as well as some lowlights that I pointed out. If I was actually not a car fanatic, I doubt that I would buy this car due to all the weird angles and shapes of this Technic model, which is not found on the real GT500. Aesthetics aside, I actually really love the pullback mechanism that brings a much needed playability element to these Technic models. I hope that you enjoyed this build and let me know what you thought about this LEGO set. Would you buy it? Or would this be a hard pass? Again, let me know in the comments section. This is Bruising Studs, and then I will see you all in the next build.